and is available on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. We begin with a middleweight main card opener between two Dana White's Contender Series contract winners. First up, the North Carolina Nightwolf is ready to put on a display of power at 185 pounds by proving the hype isn't real. Here is Jamie, the Nightwolf Pickett. And on the other side, a decorated world champion wrestler making one of the most anticipated debuts in recent UFC history. His loud mixed martial arts career is off to a blistering start with finishes all in 1 minute or less. Please welcome three-time Division I National Wrestling Champion, Bo Nickel. Now on to the lightweights. A man possessed, finishing all of his wins before the final bell and riding a 5-fight win streak. This is Jalen the Tarantula Turner. And his opponent, a Polish powerhouse who can get it done anywhere. Winner of 4 of his last 5. This is the always entertaining Mateusz Gamrot. Up next, it's an absolute firefight at 170 pounds. First up, a Kazakhstani problem that 16 men have tried to solve and have all come up shaking their heads. Please welcome the undefeated rising star, Shavkat Rakhmonov. And on the other side, he's no stranger to the bright lights of a UFC pay-per-view, and no stranger to hitting his opponents like an absolute truck. Here is Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. Now, the first of 2 title fights coming your way Saturday night, and we start in the flyweight division. First, the challenger, a Mexican warrior dead set on derailing one of the greatest mixed martial artists on planet Earth, all to become the first Mexican-born female champion in UFC history. Guadalajara, stand up. Here is Alexa Grasso. And the champion, a woman who needs no introduction as the flyweight GOAT. She's tied for the most wins at 125 pounds. She has the longest win streak in the division's history with 9 straight, making her unbeaten at flyweight. Please welcome the champ, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko. And finally, the most anticipated return in Octagon history. But this time, for the title of baddest man on the planet. Heavyweights collide for the vacant UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. First up, France's great hope for gold and glory, and one of the greatest pound-for-pound tacticians the combat sports world has ever seen. He's looking to play spoiler Saturday night. Please welcome Ciryl Gane. And get ready. It's been 3 long years since the man they called Johnny Bones put on a show. Now he's looking to prove his dominance at 205 pounds will continue up at heavyweight. He's back. Here is the former UFC light heavyweight champion of the world and one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, Jon Bones Jones.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out today. We appreciate it. Before we get started, let me just announce something real quick. International Fight Week is coming back to Las Vegas July 3rd through the 9th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow for the 2-day fan experience, and you can get them on AXS.com. Who's got the first question?
Start with Jon Jones, please.
Yeah.
Jon, I don't know that we've seen many reactions like this at a press conference, so Can I just ask kind of what you're feeling right now, and is there anything you want to say to this crowd?
What's going on, Las Vegas? I love you guys too. I love you guys too. I'm just honored. I'm honored. I'm grateful to be back. Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for having me back in this position. And yeah, it's fight week. 3 hard years of dedication and focus, and I'm back, and I'm just so grateful. That's it.
And Jon, we know how meticulously you like to study your opponents, right? Like every aspect of them. So I'm just curious what you've observed or what you've learned about Ciryl this fight week, whether it be through interviews or just kind of being around him. Like, what have you observed this week?
Ciryl seems like a nice guy. Seems like he's a great fighter, great footwork, great striking, ambidextrous in his stances, and I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. I respect Ciryl. He seems like a stand-up young man, and it's going to be a great fight on Saturday night.
Jon, just one last one for you real quick. I mean, you said, hey, you're fighting to be the greatest of all time, but I know you've also said, hey, I believe I've already done enough to be the greatest of all time. So do you feel in this fight, as you're moving up, that your legacy is on the line at all as the greatest of all time, or is that already secure by what you've accomplished before?
What do you guys think? You guys think I'm the greatest of all time or what? Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Yo, you guys are rowdy. I love it. I love the energy. Keep it coming. I love the energy. I feel like God has blessed me with a great talent, and it's my job. I owe it to greatness to get out here and put it all on the line, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I feel like I really don't have anything to prove, but at the same time, I just want to be someone that people look up to in the future, and people see that you can just keep going. That success is not a coincidence, but it's something that's earned day in and day out. And I feel like I put in the work. I feel like I deserve a great victory, and that's exactly what I'm going to have, a great victory.
And then just for Ciryl, if I could. Ciryl, yesterday Jon said,
He's okay, he's okay. He's okay.
Ciryl, yesterday Jon said that above all else, he knows that he won't lose to you because you got outworked by Francis Ngannou, and he just can't see himself losing to somebody that got outworked by Francis Ngannou. How do you respond to that?
Yeah. Yes, I did a lot of mistake against Francis on the wrestling game because I expected more about him striking game. So I was not focused on the wrestling game. So he surprised me. He did well, very well. And you see, he's a really strong guy. So yes, I did a mistake. Tomorrow is going to be against Jon Jones. Everybody knows the level of the wrestling game of Jon Jones. But I'm focused about that. I'm focused on it. So we work on it, and we're going to be ready for him.
And just one last one for you, Ciryl. Obviously a win on Saturday, you're heavyweight champion, which is amazing, but you would also be making history by being the first man to beat Jon Jones. What would that mean to you to make history in beating Jon Jones?
He's look like a belt. He's look like a belt. He's a GOAT. Everybody know that. He's not a Christian. And that's why I respect this guy. I respect your career. But tomorrow is going to be 2 men, 2 fighters. I'm a good fighter. You know him. Everybody know that. And we're going to do a great fight. But winning against a guy like that, yes, it means a lot for me. And to have a bet also.
Question for Valentina. Valentina, yesterday at Media Day, you were talking about people having weak points and they shouldn't forget them. I'm curious, what weak points do you see in Lexa?
It's not only about weak point, it's also about the fears. And it's kind of like between us two, because I know her fears, she knows her fears. And it's kind of like will stay during the whole fight. And the weak point, what I want to show, I'm going to show it during the fight. You will see that.
Alexa, she talks about fears. Are you scared of Valentina?
I'm super happy for this opportunity. I trained it super hard, and it's a big challenge for me. I'm super excited for this fight.
Do you believe you have to use your boxing to beat her, or can you beat her in other areas of the game?
Well, you guys know that I love stand-up fights, but this is MMA, and I have to use all my tools to win this one.
Jon, just one more for you. Ciryl just said there that Francis was very strong and it surprised him. Is he underestimating how strong you are?
Yeah. It's interesting to hear Ciryl say that it was a strength issue. I spend a lot of time in the weight room. You know, I feel like not only am I a very strong athlete right now, but I have a lot of technique. It's more than strength. So it just makes me feel even better that he believes that it was strength that got him to the floor. I'm coming with a lot of strength, a lot of endurance, and most importantly, some pretty strong technique.
Question for Bo Nickal. Obviously, you said during your time at Penn State, when you were winning national champions and winning all these awards, the UFC was always in the back of your mind. But now that you're here, up here on stage with arguably the greatest fighters of all time, is this everything you expected in your first experience in the UFC?
Yeah, it's absolutely everything I expected. You know, to be up here with all these guys is a big honor, and I'm very grateful. And I'm just more than anything excited to perform this Saturday and put on an exciting show for the fans.
You also said you predicted a first-round stoppage. Given that what you saw in your debut fight when you had that knockout, and of course you pulled that triangle off, what can fans expect on Saturday?
Like I said, first-round stoppage, that's what you can expect. It's as simple as that.
The question for Jamie. Obviously, a lot of the attention is on Bo Nickal, giving everything he's done. Do you relish this role in the fact that you can play spoiler to one of the hottest prospects the U.S. has seen? UFC.
Yes, I do. I love that I'm in this spot, and I'm going to spoil the show, I promise.
And finally, two more for Dana White. Obviously, Bo Nickal at Media Day said he believes he can be one of the two fighters to headline at Allegiant Stadium. What do you see from Bo Nickal that separates him from past prospects in terms of massive star potential?
Is that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the guy's on his third fight. He's fighting a guy with a lot of experience. I think Saturday night's going to tell a lot. We'll see you on Saturday.
The last one for me. A lot has been made for pound between Alex and Islam, and I think there's a generation of fans that maybe haven't seen Jon Jones fight. If Jon Jones does emerge victorious on Saturday, does he take that top spot in your mind as the rightful #1 pound-for-pound fighter?
That's up to you guys. You guys vote on that, not me. Go ahead, who's got the next question? Go ahead, buddy.
Question for Jon. Jon, why do you think Ciryl is the most incomplete fighter in the top 5 at heavyweight?
You know, I respect Ciryl Gane, I really do. And I say this humbly, but, you know, I study film constantly, and I just see a lot of patterns, you know. When he's in one stance, there's things he really loves to do. He goes to the same well a lot. When he's in the opposite stand, he has his tendencies. And outside of that, you know, I realize that he doesn't really have much wrestling. He relies on evasion, trying to get away. He relies on jiu-jitsu instead of solid takedown defense. And same with the ground game. You know, I watched Francis Ngannou be able to rack up, I think, maybe 5-6 minutes of top time in that fight. And Francis is not a guy that's known to control people on the top. So. He does have the striking down. I don't think defensively he's a very strong kickboxer. He has a really nice offense. Like I said, his defense is mainly in his footwork. And the two other big holes are jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
And a lot of fans are wondering, what song are you going to walk out to on Saturday night?
I'm thinking a little bit of Champ is here. I'm a traditional guy. Yeah, the Champ is here. That's how I feel. Yes, sir.
Last question for Ciryl. Ciryl, a lot of people are wondering online about your hand injury. How is your hand going into this fight?
She's healthy, really healthy. I got no problem, any sensation just after the injury. Since the injury to today, nothing. Everything is perfect.
Questions for Mr. Gamrot. I don't want to butcher your first name, so I'll call you Mr. Gamrot.
Matthew.
You fought in Las Vegas many times at the UFC Apex. COVID's over, obviously the fans are back. How does it compare fighting in front of the fans versus at the Apex, and how are you looking forward to it?
I am really excited. I fought 4 times in Las Vegas. This is my city. I love Las Vegas. I love fans. From here is, I am believing emotion. I am super ready this fight. I coming to finish this guy.
Your last opponent, Beneil Dariush, he's fighting Charles Oliveira. 2-part question. Who do you think wins that fight, and does the winner deserve a title shot?
Beneil Dariush deserve like 200% to title shot for sure. He has nice win streak. He's monster. He give me big lesson in my last fight. And my prediction is he will finish Charles Oliveira before 2 time.
And if you win this fight on Saturday, if UFC asks you to be an alternate for that fight, would you cut weight, go through a camp, and be on deck for that?
We'll see. I don't think about that. Now my 100 focus is this fight. In 100 focus is Julian Turner. He's tough opponent, good striker, but I am ready.
Jalen, it's really hard to work your way up in the lightweight division. It's the deepest division in the UFC. They've got you ranked at number 10 currently. When did it sink in that you're potentially 2 or 3 fights from fighting for a title?
It just honestly, it just recently sank in. I beat this guy, and then I'm knocking on the door.
And the same question for you. A lot of the guys in the top 5, if you win, it puts you at 7 potentially. A lot of the guys in the top 5 are tied up. Would you be willing to go through a camp and be on deck for a big fight like that?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm always willing for that.
All right, that's all I got.
Thank you. Go ahead. Or whoever. Yeah.
Question
Go ahead.
for
Whoever
Ciryl.
next.
For Jon Jones. Jon, you've dealt with so many different styles, so many different fighters. What do you see in Ciryl that in his attributes make him a definite challenge?
I would say that his footwork is rare for a heavyweight. It's not something that he sustains usually for an entire fight. Round 1, round 2, maybe even round 3, depending on how things are going, he moves around a lot more than the average heavyweight. But I've seen through footage that usually by the championship rounds, a lot of that balance is gone. And then another thing that makes him really different is a lot of heavyweights, they depend on proper defense to block punches and block kicks, where we've noticed Ciryl Gane, he just likes to back out really quick. But that's his gift, his ability to move his feet. Outside of that, I feel like everything about his skill set are things that I've seen before.
Ciryl, recognizing Jon as the GOAT, do you feel like what you did in your camp had to be restructured to fight the GOAT?
Yes, I'm really happy to this opportunity. I realize and I like the feeling. I like the feeling. I like it. Hey, okay. I like the feeling. I know we have a lot of fans behind him, and I like that. Coming back from 3 years ago, that's cool, and I'm really aware about the opportunity. I know who is this guy, and I respect this guy another time, and we're gonna do a war. No worries for that.
And one for Valentina. Do you feel like there was a different energy into camp coming off of your most challenging in defense?
No, I don't think that it's something different. It's all the same, Yeah, I'm in this business in martial arts for 30 years, and for the information, we have very sharing with UFC things in common, because 30 years celebrating UFC this year, so 30 years I'm celebrating my anniversary as being martial artist, and it's give me a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of things to see, know about the opponent. And definitely my previous fight was kind of challenging fight, but I pass it, and I show that I'm real champion. I'm here to battle the struggles and everything. And here I know I will face very good opponent. Alexa, she's very strong fighter, but here's the only one champion, and I will show and prove for a long time there is only one champion in this weight class.
Go ahead, brother.
Ciryl, to your right. I believe this is the first time you would have seen Jon Jones in person. A lot's been made about his bulk up to heavyweight. Does he look like a natural heavyweight to you now?
Yeah, I expected a guy like that. He's an athlete, like I say, he is tall, and he worked on it during 3 years. So yes, I expected a big guy, like I say, and he's gonna still fast, he's gonna still well-rounded. I expected, and I did my camp on this kind of guy.
And question for Jon. At media day yesterday, you said that this is.
Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead.
At media day yesterday, you said that this was the first fight week where you truly immerse yourself in martial arts. So you dedicate yourself as a true martial artist. What confidence did that give you going into this fight?
I couldn't understand your question quite.
I said at fight week, well, no, not fight week. At media day yesterday, you said that this is the first time you'd fully dedicated yourself as a full-time martial artist. I'm saying, what confidence do you draw from that?
Oh, I draw great confidence from it. I've learned the importance of just showing up. Over the last 3 years, there were times where I didn't know who I was going to fight against, and there were days where I did not want to train. And I was blessed to create a martial arts team where the guys held me accountable. My teammates held me accountable, and so the biggest difference was just showing up. Being consistent. And I never really worked like that in the past. In the past, I would do most of my training, just a few months or a few weeks sometime before events. And this time, I've just really given my whole self to martial arts. The last 3 years, it's been almost every single day. And I've enjoyed the grind. I've enjoyed the suffering. I've enjoyed the commitment. And I really feel, in the past, I would really depend on a lot of talent. And now I do believe I'm a talented man as well. I'm a blessed man, but I have the work ethic now that gives me a much greater faith.
And a question for Dana. Throughout the years, you've been pretty vocal in saying that your belief that Jon is arguably the greatest of all time. If Jon wins the heavyweight title and racks up a few title defenses, is the debate going to be over?
Yeah, I really haven't run into anybody who's really debated it much, but if there is any debate out there, that would definitely be the end of it. I mean, realistically, when you look at Jon's career, he's undefeated. He should be 27-0 right now. He won that fight. That fight should have been a stoppage, not a DQ. The one drives me crazy. It must definitely drive him crazy. So he's undefeated. And if you look at the people that he went through, to win the title, defend the title, it's very impressive, and it's undeniable that he's the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
Greg Ivory with BR Betting. This question is for Jon Jones. You opened up as the betting underdog. You're now the favorite at -170. Do you think it was disrespectful that you opened up as the underdog?
No, I don't think it was disrespectful. Ciryl Gane's been really active. He's been really busy in the UFC. I understand that there's a lot of fans that have never seen me compete before, and it is what it is. I would imagine a lot of people were putting in some pretty big money when I was the underdog, and the odds makers had to change that up real quick.
So I got a follow-up question. I got you on my parlay. Are you a lock to win this Saturday?
What was that? What was that? Am I what?
A lock.
A lock?
Are you?
I'm not a big guy into gambling, but I would say betting on me isn't the worst idea.
I like that.
All right.
Go ahead, sir.
Question over here for Jeff Neal. Jeff, you've taken on plenty of veterans, but now you're up against a hype guy in Shevchenko. How big of a victory would this be for your career if you get the finish?
It'll be pretty big. I thought me beating Luque was going to be a big victory, so we'll see how the fans play whenever I beat him, and hopefully they don't say he's overrated like they did Luque when I beat him last time.
And then question for Shevchenko. He says he's not worried about all the hype and the noise around you. What's your answer to him about what he's going to find on Saturday?
Шавкат, вопрос для тебя. Джефф Нил говорит, что его не беспокоит хайп и весь шум вокруг тебя. Что его ожидает в эту субботу?
Работает? Я готов. Мен жақсы дайындалдым. Көреміз қандай не көрсетеді екен Жефнил. Мен бәріне дайынмын. Өзімнен қалай істеймін, солай істеп тезірек жеңемін деп ойлаймын. Уақыт көрсетеді. Аз қалды.
I'm prepared very well. I'm ready for anything, and time will tell.
And then finally for Jon Jones. Jon, many years at the top of the level, ups and downs outside the cage, but when the cage door closes, you've always gotten the win. What do you think's been the secret to staying at this level no matter what?
Really, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I really do believe he has his hand in my life. I really do. There's being talented, and then there's being God-gifted, and I really give credit to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Where we're at. Go ahead.
Question for Jon Jones. These days you live a very low-key life, shooting guns. You got your dogs, you lift weights, but Saturday evening, if you win, you become the heavyweight champion of the world. You have an after party here in Hakkasan. It's Las Vegas, Sin City. So how lit does Jon Jones get getting the victory Saturday evening?
I'm not getting lit at all. You guys,
Amen.
You guys don't want to see me lit. I just leave it at that, yeah.
And lastly, question for Ciryl Gane. Would it be more gratifying for you beating the consensus greatest of all time or becoming the heavyweight champion of the world?
If this is happening, we're going to do a big party tonight, Saturday night.
Go ahead, sir.
Another one for Shavkat Rakhmonov. You finished every opponent in your winning streak. Do you feel like you're going to be able to do that to Jeff as well, or is there going to be something maybe gratifying about going the distance and beating him that way?
Ты победил всех своих соперников досрочно до этого. Считаешь ли ты, что удосрочишь Джеффа Нила, либо для тебя тоже будет ценно дойти до решения и победить его так?
Маған бірінші орында жеңу керек бұл жекпе-жекті. Мен ойлаймын, қолдан келгенше әрдайымғыдай досрочно жеңуге тырысамын. Былайына маған маңыздысы жеңу керек осы бойды.
Most importantly, I need to win. It doesn't matter how. I will try to finish him if he gives me an opportunity. But most important, my goal is to win this fight, no matter what.
And Jeff, on the other side of that, we know the health issues you've been through in recent years and stuff. Is this kind of your final forum we're going to see on here? And is this a great platform to kind of show the real you?
Yeah, I'm kind of over talking about the health issues, that happened a long time ago. I feel I'm past that, and I wouldn't say this is my final form. I'm still growing, I'm still learning every day, getting better every fight, and this fight I'm gonna showcase a different skill set, and I'm gonna show you that I'm growing every fight, and I'm gonna be champ one day.
And just last one for Jon Jones. I know you love to watch studying tape and things like that, but I see you looking over at Ciryl when he's answering and down on the screens. What do you make of him now that you see him in person here?
He looks like a heavyweight, big boy, big athlete. I'm excited for the challenge.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Keith Whittier with Ottawa Life magazine from Canada. This is my first UFC pay-per-view, and you guys are amazing. Question for Jon Jones. Everywhere I turn, I keep hearing the talk about you being the GOAT, but I don't think you get enough credit for the fact that you're still coachable at this point in your career, exemplified by the fact of working with Henry Cejudo. With everybody going on about how great you are, how do you stay grounded and not let it get to you?
Well, I just know what it takes to be in this position. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of humility. Arrogance causes you to not train as hard. It causes you to rely on talent and things like that. I've won every fight that I've ever been in because I have enough humility to get my ass in the gym every single day and to do the extra, to do the mountain biking, to do the swimming, to find some of the greatest coaches in the world. I did put some time in with Henry Cejudo. He is a tremendous coach, tremendous leader, but I really would like to take this opportunity to thank my coaches. I got Brandon Gibson over here. I got Greg Jackson. I got Coach Alex and Coach Aaron and all my great training partners, Coach Tusa, my beautiful fiance. I have a beautiful support team around me. I have some great people in my life, and they're really the key to my humility and my groundedness.
Thank you. And one question for Ciryl, if I may. Ciryl, your coach came out and basically said that a lot of people who face Jon Jones lose before they get to the octagon because of the intimidation. You yourself put out on your social media that this was mission impossible. So if that's the case, how do you stay focused under the bright lights of T-Mobile Arena and be able to get the job done?
You see, I'm really aware of what is it, the MMA, what is the game, but truly, I think I'm really different. It's really hard to be under my skin. I don't know why. Maybe because I started very late for any reason, but truly, I'm just focused on my performance. I just want to do well in the cage against a big guy like him. It's a big test for me. Maybe and truly the biggest test of my life. So I'm really happy about that, really.
Go ahead, sir. You got
Samir Hamoudi for RMC Sport in France. Ciryl Gane, more than 99% of the specialists, fans, journalists, fighters give Jon Jones the winner. What do you feel about that?
This makes sense. Makes sense. Years ago, they have a lot of bad fans, and I can understand that. But if I'm here today, if we accepted this fight, it's because we believe in me. All of my team, we train hard, and we believe in us, and we're going to prove it this Saturday.
It feels good to be the challenger. I know you like the position.
Yeah, I started very late, and since my debut, I was always the outsider. So, you see, I'm okay with the situation. I'm comfortable, and the pressure is not on my shoulder.
And last question for you, Ciryl. Jon said that he cannot lose against a fighter that might not be here for a long time. And he also said that he studied you a lot. What did you study from him, and what can you exploit?
C'est quoi la question? Je suis pas sûr d'avoir compris.
Qu'est-ce que tu peux exploiter de ses faiblesses? Toi aussi, tu l'as étudié. Qu'est-ce que tu peux exploiter de ses faiblesses?
But at first, we have a lot of stats. This is his first experience in the heavyweight. He is a light heavyweight, and when he was in the light heavyweight, he did a big cutting. So I think you see. So I got an advantage for this. I got more experience in this division, and trust me, a lot of people underestimate me on my wrestling game, and. So yes, we will see this Saturday.
Any response, Jon?
Both my brothers are really big boys. I've been wrestling my brother Arthur since I came out of my mom. You know, I've been rolling around with heavyweights my whole life. I've trained with some of the best heavyweights in UFC, Andrei Arlovsky and Frank Mir, Travis Hopper Brown. The list goes on and on. I've always prided myself on working out with heavyweights. Even during my light heavyweight career, I would walk around at 230 pounds. So I'm just stronger than I've ever been. But tussling heavyweights is nothing new to me. Nothing new to me. And I'll show that on Saturday.
Yesterday, you talked about your look, the fact that you're not lean anymore.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is it difficult for you to accept that?
It's different. It's different. But you know, this isn't a bodybuilding competition. This is a competition of strength and will. We'll see who's more determined, more dedicated. This is my life. This is my life. This is not just a competition. And yeah, I'll get it done.
Last question. Your last fight was a long time ago against Dominic Reyes.
Yes.
Very good athletes that gave you some problems, maybe a lot of problems. And 3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
You've been a winner for a long time, and the UFC changed in that time. The GOAT is coming back, and I always say you're the Michael Jordan of the sport.
Appreciate
what do you think you're going to face a LeBron James type of athlete? and the UFC changed that much?
What was the ending of that question? I'm sorry.
You like Michael Jordan, let's say it, you're the GOAT, but you might face a LeBron James athlete. Do you think you're ready for that? LeBron James.
Oh, he's LeBron? Cyryl's LeBron James?
Tell me.
Already? He's LeBron James?
I'm asking you.
How did he get to LeBron James status?
I'll play very well. I'll play very well. I got a good shoot. I got a good hand.
You hear Ciryl talking about wanting to win this fight and to be considered a GOAT. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I'm honored. I'm honored that people consider me to be in that class of athlete. It means the world to me. And my job is just to try to stay as humble as I can, continue to work hard, stay focused, and let the people decide, who's Jordan, who's LeBron, and things like this. I'm just gonna keep working hard. I'm gonna keep giving glory to God, and I'm just gonna keep doing my best. That's always worked out for me.
Tell me about that long layoff, Jon.
The long layoff was great.
Do you think the UFC changed during that time?
Yeah, the organization changed a lot. It's just so much more professional. Our security staff is bigger. The production team is more professional. Our staff members are just so kind, and it's just awesome. It's awesome to come back to. The fans are more amazing than ever. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. I'm still trying to catch up with what's happening. It's really surreal to me, if I'm being honest. It's awesome. You guys are beautiful, and I love you all. Really, it's awesome.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hey there, Jon, since you've got the microphone. You talked about how UFC has changed a bit since you've been away. And yesterday you talked about how you've changed. You've got a new perspective and different motivation. You get a new perspective on how you handle your business now. How have you evolved from a fighter man to now a businessman?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm more of a businessman than I ever have been before. That just comes with maturity. When I was younger, I would let a lot of people speak for me and speak on my behalf, and now I believe in having just direct contact with my business partners and just doing things on my own, a lot more independent than I used to be, and it just feels really good. Business-wise, I'm doing better than ever. I have some really great friendships and connections, and I'm grateful for every single one of them.
Next question for you, Dana. You've seen a lot of fighters come back from layoffs, and ring rust has gotten to some of them and maybe not to others. Do you believe ring rust is a thing, and do you think, or how much do you think it could affect Jon?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in it. Always have been. But, all those questions will be answered on Saturday night. I mean, if you look at Jones and his career, he's been a freak of nature athletically since day one. So we'll see. We'll see if that plays a factor Saturday night or not.
I feel like I've had some of my best performances after comebacks. I took off 2 years and came back, knocked out Daniel Cormier. I took off 2 years and came back and knocked out Alexander Gustafsson. So historically, me having breaks from the sport has never hurt me, and that's what I'm predicting will happen this time as well. A little time away from work is good.
Appreciate it. Last question for Jamie. Jamie, last question for you. Earlier this week, you said that you didn't know who Bo was. This week, now you've had a little bit more time. Do you know who he is now? And in retrospect, would you change saying that a little bit?
Oh, I know who he is now. It wasn't like a disrespect. I don't really follow wrestling. That's why I didn't know him. But they definitely told me who he was, and now I know who he is. And Saturday, I definitely know who he is, and he'll know who I am.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's it. That's a wrap. Go ahead, sir. Last question right here.
Hey, Jon. At light heavyweight, Joe Rogan often described you as too big and too strong and a man against boys, as well as comically thin calves. Moving up to heavyweight.
Really, dude? Really?
How do you hope to be described in comparison to the fighters you face?
As a light heavyweight, a lot of my opponents would say Jon is just a lot stronger. He was a lot stronger than he looks. And now that I've put so much work into the weight room, now I believe in my strength more. My plan is to have that same energy as a heavyweight. You know, some guys are just naturally muscular. They've been muscular their whole life. And some guys really have to earn the size and strength that they have. And I feel like I've earned this size and my strength. And I predict that Ciryl will think that I was incredibly strong after the fight. I think he's going to know that when I get on top of him.
All right, guys, like Jon said, you guys have been awesome today. We really appreciate you. We're going to rip this stuff out of here and square these guys off. We'll see you at the weigh-ins on Friday. Thank you. forward. Look at it, right? Look at it. Yeah. Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. Jay, come on. Camera. Good luck, boys. too. Face forward. Face forward. Yeah.
I've been preparing for this moment for a very long time.
It is the return of the greatest of all time, without question.
This is what I'm born to do. Losing to me, this is not an option.
He became the youngest UFC champ back in 2011. 14